Hey, Bible Wonder Fam, even the great prophet Elijah, the fire-calling, miracle-working Elijah, through a time when God felt silent. Let's dive into his story and see how even in the silence, God is closer than we think. First up, let's rewind to an epic showdown on Mount Carmel. Picture this. Elijah steps up to the plate, ready to face off with 450 prophets of Baal. 450? Can you believe it? And his mission: to prove once and for all that the Lord is the one true God. He calls down fire from heaven. It's like fireworks, but with more divine intervention. This victory was huge. People were stunned. The whole scene was like straight out of an action movie. But it's real history. And let's be real, nobody messes with Elijah after this. He's like the superhero of the Old Testament. Picture this: Queen Jezebel, who's totally... No, not a nice text message, but a full-on death threat. Talk about a plot twist. Suddenly, Elijah isn't feeling so invincible. He's scared, he's tired, and he's packing his bags and heading out, running away from the queen's goons. He makes it all the way to the wilderness of Bish, and honestly, he's just about ready to call it quits. He sits down under a solitary tree and throws in the towel. He tells God, "That's it, I'm done. This whole prophet thing isn't worth the stress. Just end my life." Can you relate to that? God doesn't freak out or get mad at him. Instead, he plays the long game. God patiently waits until Elijah takes a little breather, rests under the tree. And you guessed it, an angel shows up with a snack attack. The angel asks Elijah to wake up and grab some bread. And then, guess what happens? Another angel comes along with a refill of strength, energy, and God's love. They just serve him up some good old comfort food. The angel gives him a refill of energy and strength. And they keep repeating this routine until Elijah is ready to move again. It's like a pit stop for prophets. Elijah is getting the royal treatment. After this recharge session, Elijah journeys 40 days and nights to Mount Horeb. It's like a spiritual boot camp where Elijah is testing God and figuring out his feelings. When he gets to Mount Horeb, God asks him a question that really makes you think. "What are you doing here, Elijah?" So Elijah spills the beans and tells God everything that's on his mind. He talks about how he's poured his heart and soul into serving God. Elijah is basically having a full-on emotional breakdown, and God listens patiently. Now, I know you might be thinking, wow, God must be pretty understanding. But wait, there's more. God doesn't just give him a pat on the back and say, no. God has a surprise up his sleeve. God takes Elijah on a wild ride full of powerful wind, earthquakes, and fire. God isn't hanging out in the wind, the earthquakes, or the fire. Instead, he's in the whisper. That's right. And what does God say in this whisper? Oh boy, it's going to blow your mind. There are still 7,000 people in Israel who have unbowed the knee to King Ahab and Queen Jezebel. Basically, God is showing Elijah that despite all the bad stuff happening, there's still a whole bunch of people who are on their A-game. Now, that's a serious reality check. But wait, there's more. God lays out a new assignment for him. God tells Elijah to pour his prophetic powers into his assistant. Talk about a plot twist. Elisha becomes the next star player in God's team. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, first off, it's a reminder that even the coolest, most badass characters in the Bible have their own struggles. Secondly, it's a reminder that God isn't always in the loudest, most obvious places. Sometimes his voice is super quiet and easy to miss. And when we're going through tough times, it's important to remember that God is still there with us. Finally, this story is a reminder that even when we feel like we're totally alone, that's not actually true. There's always someone else out there who needs our help and support. And in helping them, we're actually helping ourselves too. Alright, my amazing friends, it's time to wrap things up. First off, even superheroes like Elijah have those times when they feel like giving up. So, don't be too hard on yourself when you're feeling low. Secondly, God isn't always in the biggest, loudest things. Sometimes He's in the quietest corner. So don't forget to listen for His still, small voice. And finally, you're never alone. There's always someone else who needs you, and you never know. Now it's time for action. Will you help someone who is feeling down, or will you listen more closely to His still, small voice? The choice is yours. But remember, whatever you do, do it with a big smile on your face. God loves you, and so do I. Until next time, keep being your amazing selves, and never ever forget, you're not alone. God is with you every step of the way. Hey, Bible Wonder friends, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our awesome videos. And finally, don't forget to share the love by sharing this video with your friends. Thanks for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, stay awesome. Bye.